We all made it. All right, guys, welcome. Completed your first task. It is not always an easy one, and it has literally never gone this smoothly. For everyone have their bags, load up the cars, and we're going to Costco. Get blood sugar back. Okay, well, welcome, guys. This is Circle A Ranch. Great. Quick overview. When you guys get out into the field, you're walking around and you get to maybe a first stop. You see an outcrop. Well, what do? Okay? The first thing that you should do is you should find yourself on your map. In your field notebook, you will note some general details of the outcrop. We're all here to learn. We want you guys to get better each time you make a map. So if you turn in a perfect map today, I'm going to send you home. All right? Taking a hard line on that.
Hi recording.
Hi recording.
Certain rocks that are more resistant to weathering will be cliff formers. These are going to be your sandstones and your limestones, okay? Then certain rocks that are more resistant to weathering and erosion are going to be your slope formers. These tend to be your siltstones and your shales. In the field, while you're doing field work, that's a really distinguishing feature between different formations. One might be a cliff former and one might be a slope former. And that'll help you tell apart different formations.
There's no shale overlying the sandstone.
Right.
Is it because it all eroded away?
What do you think?
Yeah, it all weathered away, eroded away.
How would you interpret these rocks? Can you give them names?
Then start talking, see what you have to say, and then end with over.
Today we went to a location that we call Cerro Chafo. We went there today for the first mapping project, small mapping project. The students go out in groups of 3 and they're given an area and they're given a blank map and they're told they have to map the geology in this area.
It's attempting to find where we are.
They have to walk around and stop when they see an outcrop and take observations, make a mark on their map, take notes in their field notebook, take photos, take structural measurements, and they have to cover the entire mapping area by foot. So this is actually evidence of bioturbation. This is what happens when worms are burrowing in this very fine-grained sandstone. Is the Point Lookout sandstone bioturbated? I don't know. It's a question that you could pose to yourself.
That thing sticking up is called the volcanic neck. It is the leftover magma that stopped inside a volcano. The volcano itself, the exterior part of it has eroded away, and that magma plug, of course, is cooled now and has been left behind. Part of the exercise today is getting students to understand, what are the different things that we're in terms of the rock formations, and then maybe different processes through time that have happened. Learning to understand how to connect processes to the formations that we see tells us a history of the place. Maggie spent some time talking about shales before, and shales are kind of a fine-grained rock, usually form in kind of a low energy, often underwater kind of a setting. And so you look around here and think, well, how long has it been since this place has been underwater? Quite a long time. And so, from understanding those different formation processes, or the processes that make these formations, you can start to piece together kind of a story of the landscape itself. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's like a shell of some sort.
This is a concretion right here, then we got a shell right here. So we're standing on a beach right now, would be my guess, considering shells. And the shell below us That's more of a marine environment, submarine. And that's what we figured out so far.
Making geologic maps has a lot of importance to sort of the world, society. Whatever you're doing, you kind of need to understand what's under your feet. Engineers and planners, everybody relies on geologic maps to make correct decisions about what they're going to do, whether it's planning water resources or mineral resources, etc. We rely on these kinds of geologic maps. Being a geology major, coming to field camp and learning how to make geologic maps like this, it's sort of a rite of passage. That's when you become a geologist, is once you've done field camp. That means you've gotten out there and you've experienced the rocks, you've walked over them, you've put your boots on the ground, you've, smacked rocks open. It's a real challenge, and it's something that you learn a lot from. And the students did great. It's always a really hard first day, and everyone's excited. It's sort of like been building up to this for months, maybe even years. This is the first day out there, so it's definitely a steep learning curve. But yeah, everyone did great. I would say attitudes were positive, which is the most you could ask for.
I just think that I'm excited, and I can't wait. I haven't done anything like this before.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's cool. I love being a geologist. This is awesome.
I'm feeling good. I was terrified to come here, but it's actually fun.
Fossil. Focus on that.
I've done everything in classes, but everything's gonna look different out in the field, so I just want to have the ability to recognize things in the field.
So this is brown sugar, curry powder, cumin, and this is a recipe that the first time I ever came to field camp, the TA, shout out Cam, made for everybody. He said it was his dad's recipe. It was so good that I've started making it every year. It's my field camp recipe. It's called field camp fish.
I don't know how you coach it. Strike it. Yeah, as long as you have preset ones.
Is there like a shale concretion in this mud?
Yeah, dude, I was so
It's like, why?
Yeah, we got up there, we just kept seeing like these big just clumps of just like, looked like mudstone, but it makes sense if it's like compacted ash.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like all like these squiggly.
And that's why we're here, to learn.
Oh. Alright. And dinner's ready. Take a little break from your maps. This shouldn't take you long. It's like 10 questions. I want to give you a heads up. Tomorrow, the students don't necessarily know this right now, but we are going to have them walk over the Great Unconformity, which is this really important period of missing time. It's this global unconformity, the amount of time that has passed between sort of one rock and the one above it is hundreds of millions to billion years. And it has a cool name. It's called the Great Unconformity. Like, you learn about it, and tomorrow we're going to go see it. But alas, we cannot get there.
No. Can we unblock the road?
I didn't want to see it anyway.